Hello, my name is Stan Richards and I'm often asked to give this presentation at recruiting when new parents are for the first time getting involved in Cub Scouting. And it's so important. I come across this all the time. And this is probably one of the things that gets most people involved directly in Cub Scouting more than anything else. The realization that time is limited. I hear this all the time in scouting. I don't have time for scouting. I just don't have the time, they tell me. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely correct in that. You don't have time. There's very little time. Time is something that's very precious to everyone. And we even wear wristwatches. How many people have wristwatches? Just think about it. You have a wristwatch, you're wearing that now, or you're using your cell phone, or you rely on clocks all over work and at home to keep you on time. Time is so precious, but time can be expressed in many different ways. One of the most unique ways that time is actually expressed is by using a ruler. Yes, you heard me right, a ruler. A ruler, such as this, can actually tell time. It's hard to believe, but it actually tells time. Very simply put, this simple device can give you more perspective on what time is all about. Let's say, for instance, this is a lifetime. It's a total of 36 inches, and it's a total of 96 years. Now think about that. That's a very nice long lifetime. Making the right choices in life will help you make this your ruler, okay? So that's very important, especially with America's youth. When you think about it, the very zero at the very beginning is their first, is the day they're born. This is the day life begins. This is where it starts. And of course, you go on through history and eventually end up at the end of your lifetime. So that's really an interesting metaphor. But think about it this way. If this is 96 years, that means every 3/8 of an inch is a year. At the very beginning of this lifetime, we have birth, which is happening right here at the very beginning, of course. And then about 1 year later, which is only 3/8 of an inch later, we have first birthday. By the first birthday, most people are walking and talking. At the 1 inch, 1/8 mark, that's when long-term memories start to be retained. That's when a lot of skills, like the alphabet and a bunch of other little things, can actually start to be remembered. That's a critical stage. At the 1.5 inch mark, that's when most people start preschool. By the 5th birthday, you're at 1 inch and 7/8. This is where most people will start kindergarten. By age 6, at 2 inches and 1/4 on this wonderful life ruler, they start first grade. Somewhere between their 5th and 6th birthday is when they start to show an interest in Cub Scouting. At 3 inches and 3/4, then this life ruler, they're at the age of 10. That's when they start to show signs of going on to a higher level of scouting, usually within a troop. This small segment of time is all of Cub Scouting. All of it. It's critical that the morals and the character that is formed at the very beginning give this a very long life. A lot of times, I'm often asked, why is that so important? Well, ask yourself this question. When's the last time you've talked to an 18-year-old or a young adult? They've often have made their decisions already, and anything you have to add would just either reinforce or be ignored. By the time they're 18, that is all set. In most cases, nothing else can be really done about anything in the past. Everything from here back is what sets this on an upward path or a downward path. And we hope that within this segment of time, that this small moment on the life ruler, literally the small section, is so critical to set it in the right path so that they can make the right decisions for the future. They can also easily not have this adjusted that direction, but actually have it in a very detrimental direction. And that's very bad. When they start making those bad decisions, there's no coming back. You can't work your way back in time. Once it's gone, it's gone. To give perspective to our life ruler, we must also examine young adulthood. By the time they reach this point, they're at 21 years of age. Young adults have already made all of their decisions in the past that'll affect their future. It's very difficult to regain ground if not appropriately set at the beginning. Between the ages of 23 and 26, that's this short period of time, they are getting married and having kids of their own. By the time they reach 1 foot in our life ruler, that's about 32 years in our life ruler. That's when their kids start becoming interested in scouting. Of course, at this time, most people are on a career path that's leading them towards their goals in life. And a lot of times this will end when they retire. Retirement is usually around 65, which is at 24 and 3/8 inches in our life ruler. By the time we get to here, usually it's very dependent on health and lifestyle. If they had a healthy lifestyle, they could go all the way up to 96. Sometimes they can go even further, and that would change the ruler completely, but it would just make everything smaller. So keep in mind, between here and here, this is up to you, up to your children to make that count. As we look deeper into the life ruler, there's not much we can do about the past. It's fixed. In our life ruler analogy, most parents start Cub Scouting somewhere around the 6th year of age. So everything from here down has already happened. Unfortunately, it's no longer part of what you have control over. This, in essence, is the past. What you do have control over is everything else. This is now. Everything from the past has happened, and it's important to keep that in mind. That's the foundation of where we're at 6 years old. All of Cub Scouting usually is completed by their 10th birthday, which is right here. So, in essence, what we have to do to make sure that this life ruler can stay consistent is develop character between here and here. So in essence, that's all of Cub Scouting. Let's see if I can do this. That's all of Cub Scouting. This small piece of wood represents all of Cub Scouting. You're absolutely right when you tell a scout leader that you don't have time. You're right. This is all the time you have. And every time that Cub Scout sign goes up, remember that their life could literally change within a very small period of time. This is something to really think about when you say, I don't have time for scouting. You're right, you don't have time. Now is the time for you to take advantage of it. This is the moment to seize to make sure that Cub Scouting can make a difference to your children. Thank you so much for your time today in listening to my presentation about the short time of scouting. Please take a moment and think about it. This is the best program there is for America's youth. Take time to fill out the application, go online and do some training. And I'll tell you what, you will have the best time of your life. You will enjoy everything you do in scouting, and your children will actually have a lot more fun in scouting. Thank you so much for your time.